Hi everybody, this is Professor West for GMC. We are still working with Alice. Until now, all of our programs have been line by line of code, and it just goes through and does this line, this line, this line, this line. We added some if statements into the last one so that it would have an option either go with this group of code or this group of code. But it still does everything one line at a time. This time, we're going to figure out a way to do more than one thing at the same time. So for example, what we're going to do here in just a minute is we're going to put a person on the screen, we're going to have them talk, which makes a speech bubble pop up, and we're going to have their lips moving at the same time to make it look like they're actually saying it. So go ahead and start a project, and let's go into the setup scene. Find the gallery. I'm going to go into the biped classes, and I'm just going to pick the Mad Hatter. And I'm going to tell it OK. And go ahead and get it close so that you can zoom in on his mouth, because we want to watch the mouth move. Once you get that done, go into the code editor. And let's start telling it to do stuff. So right off the bat, make sure you're clicked on your Mad Hatter. So we're going to go to this.Mad Hatter. And let's grab the say text. Plug it in, and we're going to do custom text. And let's do something like, hello, exclamation point, how are you? Question mark. So when we run, a speech bubble will come up and say, hello, how are you? Now, let's go into the Mad Hatter. Click down here and come down to Mad Hatter and choose the green ones here where it says Get Mouth. That's going to change all of these procedures down here to be working with the Get Mouth command. These are all things you can do. We're going to get the one that says turn, and we're going to plug it in. Ordinarily, the turn would turn your character, but now it's going to turn the mouth a little. And let's go forward. Oops, I accidentally clicked it off. Okay, let's go forward, and let's do a custom decimal number. So click on custom decimal number, and let's do 0.6. And then let's do the same thing. So we have options here. Let's go ahead and put it on the clipboard and then take it back off the clipboard. Well, that didn't work. I meant to say copy to the clipboard so that you can drag it back off. And the only thing we're going to change here is where it says forward, we're going to click the drop down and we're going to do backward. So the one way will move it one way and one way will move it back. So let's run it and see what happens. Speech bubble comes up first, and then that happened. So let's make a few changes. First, let's go into the detail for the speech bubble and let's change the duration. Let's change it to, we're going to create a custom one, let's change it to a 3. So for roughly 3 seconds, it would sit there. Now, notice a while ago, it did the speech bubble, and then it did this line, and then it did that line. We're going to change that now. So let's get the two together and just drag it right up here. And notice that it's still inside of this do in order. So if we do this line, this line, this line, and then come to this one, everything in this one will happen at the same time, and then it would go back out and go line by line. In this case, we want all three of these to be inside of it. So keep them in order. Do the speech bubble first, then do the mouth open, which is forward, and then backwards. Oops, that didn't go in. There we go. And let's run it and see what happens. Notice it doesn't look like his mouth moved at all. That's not entirely accurate. This happens a lot in programming like this. it tried to do the open command and the close command at the same time, so you didn't see anything happen. So what we need to do is we need to make just a few adjustments. We need to separate it out a little bit. So let's get a do in order and drag it up here and put it into this command with the others. And now let's take the two that deal with the mouth and move them into the do in order. So the do together is going to do this and this group at the same time. So as the speech bubble is coming up, it's going to come here and run these in order. Mouth open, mouth close. So let's run it and see speech bubble and the mouth open and closing at the same time. Now, I don't know about you, but that didn't look exactly right. So you're going to have to play around with these and try to get them to work how you want it to work. In this case, the mouth opened once and closed once. So if you're going to have it open for 3 seconds, and these are that short each, then you may have to let's just copy it to the clipboard and drag it down here. Oops, not down that far. And then we'll do the other one the same way. Should have put a bar there, but it's not. Okay, let's just drag it down now. Okay, so you have forward, backward, forward, backward. When you run it now, the bubble pops up, and his mouth continues to run, as though he's saying it. Mine looks a little funny, and I don't really know why. That's just sometimes how it happens. But the point is, while this speech bubble was still staying up, doing its thing, the mouth was opening and closing. Everything that you do in programming where you need two things to happen will be this easy to do. So that being said, I will leave it there. Bye, everybody.